issue. But when you're young, you don't go to the doctor as often as you should, and things like that. So I was like, yo, I need to start going to the doctor. Even though I'm young, I need to start going to the doctor more regularly, go to the dentist more regularly, save better, things like that. So it's almost like the same list that's just, I carry it with me each year and maybe just tweak or add a little bit. But when I wrote it down, it's because I wasn't doing shit. I was wilding. So
What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Ferg from Three Brothers No Sense, your favorite barbershop style podcast. Join my co-host, Razi and Buff. Fellas, tell them what's on your mind.
What we're not going to do is find one more thing to argue about and divide. And so far that hasn't happened, but the Best Man final chapters, I'm seeing people disagree on it, but it's been quite civil. The main disagreement has been allegedly that Robin is the villain. I won't give away any spoilers, but some people feel like she's the villain, and some people feel like Harper is the villain. Either way, the conversations I've seen so far, people have been disagreeing, but it hasn't been the Will Smith slap or the Kanye West type of division that we've seen in other disagreements. So I just hope we can keep that up and just learn to disagree without being disrespectful or dividing. Other than that, I want to send a congratulations to Ed Reed, the new head football coach at Bethune Cookman. That's the type of trend that I wanted to see when Deion became the head coach at Jackson State, to have high profile former NFL players go to these HBCUs. Ed Reed was a hell of a player for the Baltimore Ravens. So I hope he can do great things at Bethune Cookman. And last but not least, man, I've been rewatching Martin on HBO Max. Still funny. It holds up. But God, was he a horrible boyfriend. That loser did not deserve Gina, man. Like,
no. I was happy when Gina left.
I was like, yo, this dude should have lost her like at least by the second episode. Like, he was terrible, man. But
I mean, even the proposal, right? Gina,
we know the proposal.
Yeah.
Damn. Are you happy now? But just overall, even before they got to the proposal, man, like he really was the worst. He really was.
I mean, he was a horrible friend as well. So,
I mean, yeah, was he? Was he?
I mean,
he was selfish. He was a narcissist.
How many times do I have to kick you out of my house because we disagree? Like, you got to the point where it's just like disrespect. Like, dog, you have to have enough respect for me not to just like kick me out of your house. Like, get to stepping. Like, dog, that's just.
I don't know. I think they liked it. Like, it's one episode he kicked them out, and then the next scene they're back in there. He's like, I thought I kicked y'all out. They was like, yeah, that was yesterday. This a new day. And he's like, all right.
Yeah. I guess you got to put up with it. Like, you get used to.
It's their dynamic.
Yeah.
I mean, he shit on everybody though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But, man, the content was so good though.
But Razi, before you move on, do not spoil Best Man finale.
Oh, you felt it. You felt he was going to go there with it?
Yeah, he's definitely gonna.
I haven't even watched it yet, so
okay, good.
Yeah,
okay,
I can't spoil it. So I've been debating whether I'm gonna pay that $4.99 for the month and get it on Peacock or figure it out.
Man, just get somebody with email and password and log in. Come on.
I know, man. I try to support though. Like when Bel Air was on, I paid for it because I want them to see that, you know, I logged in and they got the subscribers for that content. So that's usually why I try to do it.
Bro, you probably lost $5 in the couch this week.
Probably. My kids, man, they be stealing my money. I swear they do. So, but I want to first say Eff Southwest. It is big time thing. So I was supposed to be in New York. We apologize, everybody, for not being able to drop a episode last week. We tried our hardest, tried to figure it out. Schedules didn't work out, but we were really working hard to try to get it out. Didn't work out, but just like Southwest, we dropped the ball on that one. But Southwest, man, they canceled my flight. I was supposed to go to New York for the holidays and got caught up in the whole cancellation thing. Luckily, I didn't stand in those lines and get thrown out like old girl and semi-arrested. But I don't know if y'all have seen that. Like, chick was waiting to rebook, and the cops singled her out and was like, "Hey, where's your ticket? You're trespassing. You got to go." And they like canceled her flight and gave her her money back and didn't let her rebook. And they kicked her out of the airport.
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah. So it's like all kind of crazy stuff going on with that, man.
Maybe I've seen. Describe this young lady.
Black chick.
Okay, that's all.
A little older. Yeah.
That's it. Done.
Yeah. They singled her out. Like everybody else is in line. They were saying that she was standing in 2 lines or something like that. I don't know. They were just trying to figure it out, but it was long lines, like almost an hour wait to get rebooked for those flights.
I do believe the standing in 2 lines. No, I think.
Yeah, she definitely was standing in 2 lines trying to kind of figure it out. But you know that happens if it was more than one person in her group. Oh well. So, but yeah, it's been a crazy last couple of days, man. Greta Thunberg, she called out the guy's, what was his name? Andrew Tate. He ended up getting arrested because they got in a Twitter battle, and she told him to email smalldickenergy@don'tgiveafuck.com or some junk like that. And so
yeah, I saw some pushback to that too from another woman.
Yeah, so it was crazy, man. But yeah, Andrew Tate got arrested for human trafficking. So if you care about that, they arrested him, and thanks to Greta Thunberg for kind of making him dox himself. So they were in the Twitter battle. He posted a picture with a local pizzeria, and that's how the Romanian police identified where he was so that they could go and arrest him and charge him. So it was crazy. That's it, man. It's been crazy. I'm excited for New Year's. New year, new me, all that stuff. I'm leaving the bag in 2022 and all that good stuff, stepping in 23.
Leaving baby hairs in 2022.
Man, baby hairs need to go somewhere. They should have stayed in 2020 with the lashes, but all of them are moving forward. So hey, you never know, man.
If you had to pick baby hairs or lashes, which one you want left?
Give me the lashes.
I'll take the lashes over the baby hairs.
I'll take the lashes over the baby hairs.
And you know how much I hate lashes. So, and truthfully, lashes aren't always bad. It's the butterfly super thick, like just they look fake and that type of stuff. Like if you get some kind of just natural-ish, but I don't see the point of any of them. Like
it's not for you to see, sir.
Most women are prettier without them. I'll just go ahead and say it. They're prettier without them. That's your
opinion. You know, you can keep your opinion to yourself, sir. They're not doing it for you, sir.
They definitely aren't. Earthquake talked about it in his set. He was like, not doing it for us. And that's cool.
What they say.
But
yeah. So Bup, I might bring you back in. So there's been a lot of stuff going on. You know, January 6th committee is doing a lot. Trump's taxes are being released and all that stuff. What's going on in this political world? What do we need to be aware of? What's the big take?
The big take, I keep hearing, I shouldn't say I keep hearing. I've been hearing more and more rumors. I think Razi, or maybe you predicted this, that Biden may be having second thoughts about a second term. I've been hearing like little rumblings about that. So that's going to be interesting to see. I know someone told me once they secured Georgia, the Democrats, then he wanted to wait till after the midterms were settled, and that maybe he would change course on the whole second term run. And the reason that's huge is because if Biden, for those that say they don't want Biden to run, then who? You know what I mean? Because the logical choice is usually the vice president, but many of us don't think VP Harris is ready. So who would step up if we don't want Biden to run and we assume it's against Trump or DeSantis?
Well, DeSantis is kind of screwing himself right now too.
Is he? Is it? I thought he was pretty popular.
Not with his base.
Yeah. It's like he. I guess he can bring the turnout that a Trump does, but he's a little more competent than Trump is. So in some ways, he's more dangerous than Trump.
Yeah, he'll get the folks that Trump got, plus Republicans that turned off of Trump will vote for him.
Yeah, and some people who still like Trump, they'll say, you know what, I like Trump, I think he's better, but we need somebody with less of the baggage. Like they're exhausted with everything that comes with Trump.
I can believe that. He is a better, I guess, candidate as a whole. I mean, he's the best of both worst worlds, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But to answer your question though, man, I think if we were doing like keyword for politics, I think right now would be unknown, because the Democratic leadership in the House side is completely new. We got Hakeem Jeffries stepping in as the new Democratic leader. Steny Hoyer stepped down. Clyburn stepped down. Pelosi stepped down. And even on the Republican side, we all assume that McCarthy is going to be the speaker, but we're hearing a lot of people say we don't want him speaker. I think it's Representative Gates and a lot of those people on the Republican side, they don't want him as speaker, and they think he's just a representation of this establishment. So you got that, and what I mentioned with Biden. So it's a lot of unknown, man. And then with Sinema pulled what she pulled.
Yeah.
She's a quote independent. I don't think that matters much. I think she really did that for re-election purposes, to be honest. But it's just a whole lot of unknown, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be very interesting, and we're too late in the game not to have a front runner. Like we're less than 2 years away, and we have, if not Biden.
Primaries haven't crunk up for Republicans either. So I think what ends up happening is we kind of go into the same as last year, where we have primaries for both, right? So that's really all that's going to happen. So January, mid-January. And I'm sure talks are already there in the inner circles. Like, people know, if Biden does come out and say, they have their infrastructure already ready to go. I'm sure they're ready for that primary.
And that takes you back. Now we're really getting into it. But that takes you back to like about a year ago. Was it about a year ago that Governor Cuomo kind of screwed himself? Mm-hmm. Like, behind the scenes, Democrats were probably gearing up for him to make a run if Biden decided not to run. And then he screwed himself. So now he's out of the picture. So they may have to go back to step one on who they want out there now. Like, he probably would have been the guy.
I agree. I think that would have been the most logical play there. So it reminds me of Succession, when they were in the room kind of picking the candidate and stuff. That's really how it works, man. So something like Obama can happen, where the establishment picked a candidate and everybody else they come out of nowhere and they come, but 90% of the time, whoever is picked in that room, in that little retreat, that's who's going to be the candidate. So
we still feel like Michelle Obama would never run. She wouldn't do it. No.
I don't think so. She definitely get the nod 100%. That lets you know how powerful she is, though. It's like, I don't want to be the president.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. What's gonna happen with your other homeboy, Santos, Buff?
My homeboy.
Yeah.
My homeboy?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not my homeboy.
I mean, that dude just made up. He just made up a whole. That might even be his real name. Like, this dude just made up his whole new character. Yeah, I went to this school. I invested in this.
Isn't he half black, half Asian? Yeah. So he's a Blasian now.
I'll say,
but he comes from a prominent Jewish family, and
he'll be fine though. I mean,
there's nothing they can really do. It's not illegal.
Yeah. We have a sitting senator that had a similar run-in like that. I don't want to say his name, but you guys can look that up after the show.
All right, let's y'all want to jump into it? Where's Sophie?
She's in there. I think she has a joke. Let me just check. Hold on.
Hey, Fidelity. What's it cost to invest with the Fidelity app?
Start with as little as $1 with no account fees or trade commissions on U.S. stocks and ETFs.
That's music to my ears.
I can only talk.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Zero account fees apply to retail brokerage accounts only. Sell order assessment fee not included. A limited number of ETFs are subject to a transaction-based service fee of $100. See full list at fidelity.com/commissions. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Well, look who's here.
Greetings, young lady. Happy Christmas Kwanzaa. Yeah, Christmas Kwanzaa.
It's just
You not celebrating Kwanzaa?
I don't know.
No.
No. Ask your daddy why you don't celebrate Kwanzaa.
Razi had told her about Kwanzaa.
We've had the Kwanzaa discussion. She just don't remember it.
I don't. Pretty sure we've had it. I just don't remember.
Yeah. Next year we're
Remember
gonna celebrate.
the weird words, emoji.
Why'd
you laugh?
Weird words. Wow.
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 That's just so
Yeah,
bad.
let's be honest here. I mean, Kwanzaa has some weird words. Like the days
They're
are
different.
Kind of
They're different, sir. They're not weird. They're only weird to your Americanized, colonized ears, sir.
True. Yeah, I gotta decolonize so I can decolonize the world.
How was Christmas?
Ooh, it was fun.
You get all your gifts?
Yeah.
Okay, I think all yours came from me. I think they came.
Yeah, I got it.
TJ broke yours, Razi, by the way.
That fast?
It's not as big as it was. It was like, it's probably 15 inches high.
Oh, wow.
The video, I mean, the picture made it look so much bigger.
Yeah.
What you got planned for New Year's Eve? Sophie, you going, popping fireworks? You going to a ball or something? Or
Daddy said I can't go to the ball.
Why?
Oh, no, ask him.
I was talking about the second liner ball, girl.
Oh, he's an ageist. He doesn't want to let you be great. I'm gonna talk to him.
Okay.
So do you have a joke for us?
Yes.
Okay. What joke do you have for us? No, you don't.
He's getting it on.
Do you trust his joke?
Sort of.
Sort of. I see you've been modeling lately, though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, I did do that. That was very fun.
Yeah. You gonna style my clothes now? Who picks out your clothes?
Me and Haley just went on Shein and just went and bought stuff that we thought was cute.
You should do that for your daddy.
No, he has good style. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Have you heard of the movie called Constipation?
Don't think there's a movie called. No, I have not.
No.
Because it hasn't come out yet.
Oh, of course not.
It's so stupid.
How
No, I didn't. No, I told you I found it. I told you I found it.
Ferg looks disappointed. So.
He laughed so hard. He wanted me to tell it because he could not find a joke, and it was our last option.
Yeah.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah.
You know what, Sophie? Jordan missed shots from time to time.
He did miss shots.
It happens.
He got swept in the playoffs once, too.
It was him.
So
This was a good. That was a good joke. I don't know what
It was
you're
his
talking about.
exactly. See, and that further lets us know it was him, Sophie.
Whatever. Tell him bye.
Bye. It was his fault.
I'm gonna fire her. She
I have
can't
no idea.
bring her content.
Who goes first?
I'll kick it off. How do I want to word this? So, have you guys been following the NFL lately? More particular, like Tua. You know, he is on his third round of
the concussion protocol. Yep.
Like, I don't think in recent history I've seen, especially a quarterback, deal with that many concussions in a season. Which is very, very worrisome. You know, part of the reason I'm very cautious about my son playing contact sports and things like that. But what was not funny, but what was interesting is I heard a conversation about it earlier this week. It might have been Get Up or First Take, and they were just debating about, you know, worrying about Tua. And many people like he has to come to the decision. He needs to probably retire. He needs to give up because of his health. And people like, I don't get why he doesn't get it. And somebody basically said, I get it. I mean, he's trying to get that second bag. He's trying to get that non-rookie contract. He's trying to provide for his family and set them up forever, which, I mean, makes sense. Now, I'm no Tua, but it made me think on a different level on how often we do this in our world, in our life. How many concussions or how many, you know, things are hurting us daily. And we keep putting ourselves out there for, I guess, what we would consider, I would think, as protectors and providers of our family for the greater good. And my question is, do you see the similarities in Tua continuing to risk his life and the long-term effect of his job and decision-making? Do you see the similarities in that with men in general, black men in general, yourself? And how do we balance that? So do you see the similarities and how do we balance that? You know, how do we get past that? Because that's something I'm working on constantly right now.
I'll say yes, I can see the similarities. Not to that extent or not that blaringly obvious, right? It's very different where he has concussions. You know, he's, you know, on his third round. The job he does causes it, but he still goes back. But when you think about, I'll just, doctors, right? Medical field in general, the healthcare profession, when you talk about like PTSD and emotional stress and trauma, right? Them seeing it over and over and over again. There's a lot of doctors who end up with mental health problems or with depression or something like that, but they go back to the office and do it over and over again, right? There are people who... Why? Because they love what they do. Kind of like you were saying, they have put in the time, the effort to get to the highest of the highest, right? When you come, especially when you talk about doctors and things like that, but just anybody in general, they've gotten to where they wanted to be in their life or in their career, and to just say, I'm going to hang it up and walk away, and all of that work that I've put in just kind of is for naught. I think they're like, they're weighing the scales, right? Can I, one more day? Can I do it another year? Can I do it another month? You know, oh, I got 5 years before I retire or whatever, right? It's one of those things. Or maybe it's, hey, let me get my backup plan together where I'm going to transition and then I'll stop, right? So it's a little bit of that. It's not something you're just going to cold turkey say, yep, let me stop tomorrow because of it. I know the risks, understand the risks. I mean, we talk about boxing all the time, right? That like they generally know that you have a long-standing boxing career, depending on how you box and how well you box. You're probably going to end up with some type of CTE or something like that. They already kind of know it, but they still go in and do it. You're UFC fighter, so those people, those athletes, put in the work and they grind to the highest level, and nothing that, you know, those risk factors aren't going to stop them, right? They're going to continue on.
So let me take it away from athletes for a second. I want to talk about, and Byron, you probably can pick up on this too, or continue down the athlete path, like the everyday, and the men and women are both doing this. You know, we're working ourselves to death. We're going, we know that this job, they say this job's going to kill you. Like, you're putting this extra stress on yourself to do this rather than like, hey, you got to step away and find a better way, because this job's going to take, it's taking years off your life, the stress that comes with this, and the mental stress, the physical stress on his brain. But I'm saying that everyday person who's, how do they balance this? How do they step away from this? Because they're trying to get the bag. They're trying to see the greater good. If I can get just this next contract, if I can get this next promotion. And I remember even when you were thinking about retiring from the Army, you're like, if I can get this next promotion, that'll change my retirement pay and all this stuff. And you're like, you don't want to step away, because it's like, if I just keep going, then you had so much other stuff going on that should have that could, a lot of people say, probably take precedent over that, or, but we don't do it. We don't work out. We don't eat health. Like, we're so focused on X that we're not taking care of ourselves. And I think Tua is a prime example of, you literally see this could kill you, yet and still you're doing it. These jobs, the stress, the added pressures we put on ourselves can kill us, but we don't know how to back away. So
I think it's two things, because we do see it, like, you can step away from athletes and just look at it in everyday life. Like, we talked about politics earlier in the show, and every election cycle, whenever they go campaign in West Virginia or Pennsylvania, it's always, we need to find cleaner energy. We need to find a way to do clean coal. Coal mining is dangerous, right? But those coal miners fight tooth and nail to keep that dangerous job going. They know it's dangerous. They know they have the lung issues and all the other dangers that come with it, but they fight so hard to keep it, because that's what they know, it pays well, and that's what they want to do. And so, just like with Tua, you can say, if they know all that danger is there, why would they do it? It's just that I think a lot of us, when we have a certain goal, you mentioned Razi retiring from the military, when you have that goal, you want to try everything you can to reach it. And it doesn't matter what type of hurdles or setbacks that you experience. Our psyche tells us, yeah, you're going through this now, but just think about what it's going to be like when you get to that goal. Now, take somebody like Tua, and I don't even want to just say it's about the money, like he just wants to get that second contract. Top athletes have been like this since sports have existed. NFL players didn't always make a lot of money. That's why it was such a big deal when Jim Brown left, after 9 seasons or something like that. That was a huge deal. Like, damn, you gonna leave? You're like, hey, I'm gonna make this movie money. You know what I mean? So it's just that once you have that end goal, it's hard to, depending on your personality, it's hard to give up on that, even if it's causing you harm along the way. And so you said, how do we step away from that? I think in general, you will have to
balance it.
Yeah. Okay. Even better. In order to balance it, you gotta have someone tell you or convince yourself that, yes, I want to reach that end goal, but if I'm going to reach it, I got to take care of the now as well. I got to start looking out for myself now, and maybe fine tune that end goal. Maybe, like you used Tua at the beginning of the example. Maybe if Tua had a 15-year NFL plan or a 10-year plan, maybe he needs to say, you know what, let me focus on just trying to make it 5 years or whatever like that. Or let me focus on getting these certain investments if money is what his motivation is. Mm-hmm. But just fine tune that end goal.
Yeah. And it may be a little bit of fine tuning where he's like, okay, I'm not going to be the franchise quarterback. I'll be a good second player or a backup quarterback where I don't have to go in and take the hits every time, but I'm there kind of coaching and helping out the starter and being that backup, but giving that football IQ that I have there, right? Because like a lot of people talk about Tua's IQ. And that, so adjusting that and not having to have the limelight can be a big thing for back to just everybody in general, right? Like adjusting it to the point where you can still be happy, you can still get what you need, but some things you may have to give up, right? You just may not get the limelight and all the fanfare and all of that, but you can do just as well.
You know what else makes it difficult? He's good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like he was like in MVP discussions for a minute.
It's not a lot of people that get that.
Yeah, so he's great at what he's doing, so that makes it hard to give up too. Like, he's not mediocre like most of us are in our job.
Yeah. So it's funny you say that. So I'll be personal with this. So this is something I struggle with, and because I have a vision, and because I have a goal, because I feel like I'm a Tua where I'm good enough that I should always at least push myself to do more, because the talent is there, and it's almost to that point where you know better, you do better. Like, I know enough to not just continue to settle for like what I'm doing. It's like, for me, a lot of times it's like getting that next promotion. Like, I could get promoted, and I can take it, and that promotion financially could take my family to a whole nother level. Now the stresses that come with that. I'm stressed now, the stresses that come with that. Do I push that, or do I take this current situation and say, hey, you're doing great. Like, you're if this is consistently what you make for the rest of your life, you're really in a still good place. But knowing that if I tweak it a little more, if I can just take a little more pressure, if I can just get in the game, avoid a couple of concussions, and work this out for a couple more seasons, this could change the whole trajectory of my life, my career, But how do you balance that? Do you keep pushing, or do you become, and I know a lot of us hate this word, content? Because I think now content or contentment has taken on a negative connotation, and I feel like growing up, I remember hearing people like, I just want to get someplace where I can just be content. But now if you say that now, you're kind of like, oh, man, Razi, you too smart, too good to be just, doing this. You can easily get into this. You can easily get into politics. You can easily do this. And, how do we balance that? And Buff, you said around the right people to kind of give that message. But for a lot of us, especially for, I know men, we're all wired similarly, so you have that same challenge. So it's hard to tell me to calm down and slow down when you're going 1,000 miles an hour in your career and wanting to retire and get these accolades and stuff like that and set your family up. And it's kind of like, dog, you should calm down. Nigga, you were just, you just had this conversation about yourself. So that's what I'm trying to find. But you're right. It's going to be you. And if it's going to be other people, if it's not other people, it's you. And Razi, adjusting is a big part of it. Me recently, I'm willing. This time last year, I was trying to get promoted. I want to be promoted by now. I probably had opportunities to progress, but I've kind of taken a step back and saying, hey, what else can I do? So now I'm looking more at investing or things like that to increase our income. For multiple reasons, reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad again, but for multiple reasons rather than just depending on this job and the stress that comes with that to help me reach my goals. So you're like, hey, Tua, maybe it is, you become a backup, learn the game, and maybe be a QB coach in the next 5 years. What while you're still young and stuff like that. So we said a lot. I said a lot.
Yeah, man.
That was a good one.
Good one.
Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
You know what's smart? Enjoying a fresh gourmet meal at home that you didn't have to cook. Meet Factor, your loophole in the laws of mealtime. Chef-crafted meals delivered with a tap, ready in just 2 minutes. You know what's even smarter? Treating yourself without cheating your goals. Factor is dietitian approved, chef prepared, and you plated. Pretty smart, huh? Refresh your routine and eat smart with Factor. Learn more at factormeals.com.
So I'll piggyback on that though, if you don't mind, Buff.
Go ahead.
Because do you guys have plans for New Year's Eve? Going anywhere? Doing anything?
Nah, I'm chilling in the house, man.
Well, we're getting up with our COVID crew. Fred, Al, and Hutch. We're taking the families to Galveston and doing a little beach house for the weekend. So we're leaving tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be in the house too, but the Oculus and Horizon World, so the metaverse, they're having a virtual event. Shaq's DJing and everything. So if you guys have an Oculus or whatever, then that's kind of a cool thing to do. I just wanted to ask that, but the big thing is, it's New Year's, and with New Year's comes resolutions, and everybody making their resolutions. And so, Ferg, it was a good segue, kind of talking about kind of those that needing to shift and needing to kind of be content and figure that out. I wanted to know, did you brothers have any resolutions that you're gonna kind of try to implement for the new year?
Nah.
We had this conversation about
you know what I shouldn't say no, they're not official New Year's resolutions, but I feel like I'm always trying to be better and do better at certain things, so I'm not waiting till January 1st to do it. It's definitely something that, when the new year comes, you say, man, what's some things I need to focus on more? But I say that because, like, when I was in my early 20s, when I still lived in Mobile, like for a couple of years, I would like literally have a list. Like I had a notepad and I wrote, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. I don't do that anymore. But I do say, okay, new year coming, these are some things I need to try to do better at or try to get done or whatever.
Let me ask you this. So with that list versus how you do it now, which one was more effective?
I'm going to say this, and I think I know where you're going to go with this. The list was probably more effective, but I feel like I needed a lot more work back then. Like, it was things like, so, when you're young, well, you guys were in the military, so you may not have had this issue. But when you're young, you don't go to the doctor as often as you should and things like that. So I was like, yo, I need to start going to the doctor. Even though I'm young, I need to start going to the doctor more regularly, go to the dentist more regularly. Save better, things like that. So it's almost like the same list that's just I carry it with me each year and maybe just tweak or add a little bit. But when I wrote it down, it's because I wasn't doing shit. I was wilding. So
that's actually pretty cool, because now that list, you were introducing new habits, right? Like you wanted to become those things to become your new norm, and now those are your norm, and now you're just building on that norm,
right?
Like, okay. For me, it's self-care and putting myself first. I really, and I'm not trying to be like a martyr, like I just put everybody before myself, whatever the case may be. It's
take you a me day, bro.
I'm very intentional about the things that I do. Yeah. So if I know my kids, my wife, my mentees, my job, if they need something done, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to find a way. But if that same token, like, okay, I need to get to the gym today, probably not going to get to the gym today with that same, Now, if it's like, I need to get to the gym today, if my kids had practice today and at the gym, we're going to go to practice. Like, same gym, right? It's the same place. But it's a priority for me when it's somebody else, and I need to prioritize myself the same way. I'm not complaining about my lifestyle. I'm not complaining. I have a wonderful life, but I know that there are things that can be improved. And I think a lot of it starts with me working on myself, not even working on myself, just putting myself first. It's the going to the gym, it's going to the doctor, taking the vitamins and eating healthier. Like, those are things, because, and the reason I brought the Tua thing up was because we can have these big goals and we want to sacrifice and do all these things for this people because we have this vision. And my biggest fear, one of the things, I'm going to say my biggest fear, one of the things that's been on my mind, and especially over the last year or so, with the passing of my dad and others and stuff like that, is, am I going to be here to see the vision? Am I going to be here to take advantage of it? I can work my ass off. I can create this world and this legacy for other people. But, 60 years old, 62 years old, am I out of here? Because I don't work myself to death. I stopped working out and I'm not healthy, so I'm having these health issues that take me out of here. But I gave my all to my family, and they can say great things about me, and remember Dad. And I want to remember Dad. I want to be here, and so that's my main reason is maybe toning down my vision and including myself in my vision more, like a healthy. When I look at my vision, the healthiest version or the best version of me in that vision. Because usually when I think about my vision, and this is coming to me right now, that vision includes everybody else and me kind of being there. But, there's a difference in me being there stressed out, looking old, versus me being there healthy and vibrant and active in that setting. So
one of my favorite sayings is life is a marathon, not a sprint. And too often we try to sprint through life. Like it's just add, pack, put more stuff, and do more stuff. To get that vision, right? That end goal. And it's you got to find that balance, right? Because you do want to save for retirement and put a little bit away and do some investing. You want to do a lot of different things, but at the same time, like you say, you gotta plan for the longevity of it. And you can't kill yourself on the front end going through the sprint and not be able to make it to the 80s, 90s because you've just worked yourself into the ground and you end up dying in your 50s and 60s. But one thing that I can kind of bit of advice I can give you with the whole, I think Byron, you said it, give yourself a me day or take a me day. Schedule that me day, schedule that time into your calendar. I remember, and I was much better at it when I was in the military because we had drill weekend and I had pre-scheduled the weekend after drill that I was like, I'm not adulting. Don't put anything on my calendar. I'm not doing anything. And I tell Jen that, right? Because the big thing was when you have drill weekend, you literally go for 2 weeks straight, right? Monday, you go work your 9 to 5, Tuesday or Saturday, Sunday, you're at drill, and then you're back at work Monday for another 5 days. So literally 12 days of work on shift. And so the weekend after, I was like, I'm dead. I'm not doing anything. So that was my me day. And I was really, really good about taking that day and not doing anything. That Saturday after drill was like nothing went on the calendar. And I think that's you gotta consciously do that and just be like, hey, third weekend of the month is my day. I'm golfing, I'm going out, I'm hanging out, I'm doing whatever. Or if it's a Tuesday or whatever, whatever it is, whatever day of the month, pick it, put it on the calendar. And the same thing with like working out and stuff like that. Like once you get the kids' sports schedules and all that stuff, be like, okay, Tuesdays and Thursdays are good. I'm working out those days, putting it on the calendar, and I'm blocked off. Nothing else is going on there. And being able to say no to whoever's trying to take over that time because it's blocked off on your calendar and it is yours. So that's a good way to kind of prioritize yourself and make sure you prioritize yourself. The reason I asked the question though is like my mom is kind of starting to she's having a vision board party and I know a lot of people are doing vision boards and everything and we talked about that, giving yourself kind of an evaluation, personal evaluation and walking into the new year. This is a good time. It slows down. You can kind of look and then say what you want to adjust and everything. So I'm not opposed to a resolution because actually I'm going to give myself a resolution this year. And it's really to not try to save the world. Like you talked about, Ferg, always trying to do more, right? And helping everybody else and not being able to say no. That is my resolution for myself is I can't save the world. I'm going to save who I can. I'm going to do what I can. But anybody else, oh well. And I'm going to but I'm going to say no more. If things actually are going to be adding on to my plate, because I just got to stop adding more onto my plate and kind of either get some stuff off first or I got to get some stuff off the plate, hands down. That's what it is. So yeah, I'm definitely going to kind of say no more.
And that's tough too, especially if there's things that you really like and you're passionate about it and you see the good in it, and hell, especially if it affects other people, you know, hell, if you think about it, if you're like, you know what, I can't do this podcast anymore. It takes too much time. And it's like, but you really enjoy doing a podcast, but you know, this and this. How do you go about it? You know, that's tough.
Yeah.
Especially when those things bring you joy. If you just had a lot of stuff that's on your plate and just like, I hate this, you know, then it's a lot easier to quit. But I don't know. Well, good luck with that. If there's a way we can help or I can help, let me know.
Definitely.
Let me echo that too. Same. We got time for the final question?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. We good.
All right. So I actually got this from a Facebook friend, and she didn't even ask a question. She was just making a post about something, but I decided to turn it into a question. The three of us have all lent money out to friends or family before in the past. And what she was saying was she's no longer just giving people money. She was like, if you want money from her, there's so much that she needs done around the house that she will gladly pay you to come, you know, do whatever it needs. It could be something as simple as, I don't think she said this specifically, but like a load of laundry clothes or something like that, because she didn't have time to do her laundry or whatever. Just wash her car, something like that. And she was like, people scoff at that and they feel like that's so beneath them. And she doesn't see what's wrong with that. Like, you need money. She needs things done. So instead of just handing you money, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with her asking you to, hey, can you go pick up my dry cleaning or whatever it is she needs done for the day? She tells them up front how much she will pay them. And they usually turn that down. Do you think that's a fair way? Because I think for the most part, we just give people money that ask for it. Do you think that's a fair way to handle that?
You want to go first, Ferg? Because I got strong feelings on that one. So.
My initial thought, I cringed.
Okay.
Just because it's so abnormal.
Yeah.
But it's not. Chores and allowance. That's what it comes down to. It's actually pretty brilliant, you know, when you think about it at its core. Because we talked about this probably a year or so ago about, you know, one of the things for us is I'll just say the three of us, just not as men, is like asking for help, whatever the case may be. And when we do, we feel like we've exhausted all options, right? You've exhausted all options. I need $300. Dude, if Razi asks me for $300, I know he needs it. You know, he's exhausted all options. Now becomes, am I just willing to give him that? Or if here's an option, Razi, come work for 5 hours, you got $300. Like, do you really want it as bad or need it as bad? Or are you humble enough to say, if that's all it takes is to get $300, that's $60 an hour right there. Mm-hmm. You know, are you willing to do that? And I think it would never work in society today because we're more uncomfortable making that demand and coming up with that ask. Like, oh, no worries, just, you know, I need the grass cut tomorrow and, you know, the car washed. How much is Razi's time worth to me? And then for Razi, how much is his time worth? And I think the ego, if somebody told me that, you would feel belittled. Like, how dare you ask me to work for you? I got stuff I got to do. And then sometimes it's like, I'll take Razi for example. That dude has a lot on his plate. You know, he is the definition of a single parent. And so for me to ask him to do more work and he's already stretched thin, and the $300 is not going to make or break me. Is it me taking advantage of the situation? I think it's I think it's situational.
Yeah.
You know, like if my little niece or somebody who doesn't understand the value of money and just needed $300 because she wanted a purse or she wanted a concert ticket or whatever the case may be, or hell, if she needed to pay her light bill, whatever it is, I don't know. Maybe if I know Razi exhausted all his options, but versus one of them, it's like you just ask for money. So you're going to work for it. But if for somebody who's working, exhausted all their options, that might be a little different. I don't even know how that works anymore, man. I thought I knew the answer. I thought I had it right.
Yeah. I'm glad you walked through that, because you came around basically to my answer. And that's why I said I have strong opinions on it, is because it's definitely situational. Because if my sister, like you say, that is a mom, a wife, they're working 50 hours a week, and dealing with the kids and going all this, and she calls me like, I need $200. I'm not going to be like, well, I need you to drop what you're doing and add in another 3 hours to go do something for me. Right. Versus, like you say, a 23-year-old, a Haley, or, one of her friends or something. I mean, that for me just makes it seem like you're taking advantage of them needing it. Now, if it's their third, fourth time coming to you and they're always needing it, and you see that they don't work, and they're never doing anything with their life, and they can't ever pay their bills because they don't go to work often or whatever, that might be a different story, right? Like, they can't hold down a job. You see that they're on the couch all the time playing. Like, when I get on Fortnite, you on Fortnite. When I get on Call of Duty, you on Call of Duty. Like, wait a minute now. Like, that's some time you could be spending out doing some DoorDashes or something. I don't know. But, that's a little different than, like you say, that mom or that friend that is spread thin. They got a lot of stuff going on and they just need some money. Ferg, you talk about, my mom gave you that money for school. What if my mom was like, well, okay, I know you need it for school. I need you to come over and do these couple things for me so that, I can pay you so you can go to school.
I would have did it though.
I mean, you would have, but that's what I'm saying. It's like that. It's definitely situational, right? It's one of those things that my mom wasn't going to ask you to come do anything because she loves you like that. She was going to give you that money because you needed it. It wasn't because you wanted it. And maybe that's the difference there. It's like, I need this money. I'm struggling. I'm doing what I can and I can't make it happen. It is that last resort versus I just ask for money. And so then I could probably go down that, I need you to come do that, because I've done that. I'm like, hey, you want this money? I need you to do something for me, right? I need something. Go pick up something, or hey, swing by and do this. I'll pay you $100 or whatever.
But what if that becomes normalized though? One of the interviews I watched or listened to from Arian Foster's podcast with Humble Lukanga, he talked about being resourceful, not just leaning on your resources. So if that becomes the norm where you become this time is money, right? They say time is money. And I've developed I've worked to the point where I have enough money, but probably need more time. You got time, but you need more money. How do we meet in the middle? So if it becomes normalized, we get out of our mind, this current mindset, and it's like, hey, Razi, I need $300. I know you're busy. You got the kids, man. If I came over to watch your kids, let you go out for the night and stuff, like think about it, is your money is valuable, your time is valuable. So is it to me, like, why do I have to give in for your needs? You're the one that needs some money. You got 3 kids and the light's gonna get cut off. Are you really willing to do what you need to do? And it's almost one step away from selling. Are you gonna do what you need to do? But like I'm saying, but there's people that'll go that route, right? They'll go that far to get the bills paid. But you can't cut my grass. You can't go pick up my dry cleaning, because your pride in the situation, for the most part, sometimes it's just you just don't have the bandwidth. That's once again, that's a little different. It is situational, but you don't have the bandwidth or but also the pride is getting in the way. Like, hey, I need $300. I can go babysit my homeboy's kids and make $300 and give him a date night. That's worth it for me because I need it that much. How bad do you want it? Have you truly exhausted all options, or have you exhausted options that are comfortable for you? You know, I remember, you know, hell, when I was trying to get online, I was selling plasma, bruh. You know, I'm selling plasma, getting maybe $25, $30, but I can't go, you know, pick up Byron's laundry and put up his blinds or whatever for $300. I really don't need it that much. I don't need it that bad. Buff's gonna push back.
Just a little. First off, let me say my short answer is it is situational. It definitely is situational. But I do want to say this. I have learned that for most people who ask for money consistently, I'll say that, because sometimes unexpected things happen. You ask for money that one time. But people who ask for money consistently, they are offended by any answer that isn't okay.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter if you ask them to come work for you. There have been situations where I have tried to find solutions. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you need this money. Why don't you do this, that, and that? And I think that'll help take care of this. I mean, if you don't want to give me the money, just like, people will get offended no matter what, unless you just say, okay. So if you're worried about saying, you know, can you come do this chore for me, if that'll offend them, yeah, because any answer will that isn't okay. You're not necessarily asking them to come lay some bricks or pave a driveway. Like, it's usually, like in her example, it's usually like very easy stuff that I think Ferg mentioned. Like, she has the money but doesn't have the time. And in their circumstance, they have the time but don't have the money. So it's a mutual exchange. In those type of situations, I think we should probably look into normalizing that. I really do. Because if you need the money, if you really need it, then that shouldn't be an issue. And like, people who just ask for money, they don't learn anything. they learn nothing.
Yeah. We had to work to get this money. You need to work to get the money too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it would take, and this is not even trying to sound arrogant, but I think we've set our lives up to the point where it would take extreme measures for us to get to the point where we have to really borrow money to survive. And it could happen to either one of us. Like, I'm not saying we're above but I grew up in that environment where it was always asking money. You know, mom borrowed $20 from her sister, and then the next month her sister borrowed $40 from her. Like, it was a give and take. You know, it was just like, you got it this month, I got it next month, whatever the case may. Hell, I grew up, that was how college was. That's how we paid rent. You know,
and you know what? It becomes stressful for the person that's loaning out the money.
Yeah.
Also, because you feel obligated, even though you don't want to. Hell, it may even put you in a slight jam, but you know you can get out of it because your job is consistent. Yeah. It's going to pay you. Yeah. But it puts stress on you as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But what's so crazy is when you were saying it, when you think about the time for money, like, think about the last 5 to 10 years. That has been monetized so much.
Yeah. Yeah, the gig economy is a thing.
Yes, it's a whole thing. Like, I can just give you $200 with the hopes that you're going to repay me, or basically I'm giving $200 away just hopefully, or I can spend $100 and get these curtains hung. Point blank.
Yeah. And maybe maybe that's the difference. If you want me to give it to you, then I do need something in return versus, hey, I need to borrow this. I'm going to get it back to you, you know, when I get paid or you know, a month from now type thing. Yeah. Maybe that's a little different too. I'm not going to make you come work for it to borrow money from me that you're going to give back to me in a month, right? Versus, hey, can I get $100 or $200 and be like, well, if you want it
But that's your interest on your loan. That's your interest on your loan. Hanging some curtains.
Yeah.
I'm saying that because he's been trying to get me to hang curtains for about a week, about 2 months, about 3 months. I ain't gonna lie, about 3 months. And I ain't hung them yet. But my thing is, somebody need $50, I definitely will gladly pay them $50 to hang these curtains. But gig economy is exactly it, because people have more we opened up the questions like, how do you balance? How do you take care of yourself? So I work hard to provide for my family and get a lifestyle where I'm able to loan money as needed, but I don't have enough time I'm trying to find me time. Mm-hmm. So I don't have me time, but I still got to go hang up these curtains because I got to get these curtains hung. I'm struggling to find that time. So I got to find that time and give you money. That's a lot on the plate. I'm already working my ass off. I'm trying to find time for me. I have other stuff I need to do. Why can't we both win? We both win in this situation. Or you can say, you know what? I got this stuff that needs to be done. I'm going to find somebody. I'm going to pay somebody to do it. Whatever's left out of that $200 you need, I'll give that to you. So it cost me $125 to get these curtains hung. Leaves me with $75. Here's $75. Pay me back when you can. Because I needed something done. You weren't willing to do that. You weren't willing to meet me. You needed something done. I didn't meet you all the way. So here we go. You win a little bit. I win a little bit. Curtains hung. Here's $75. You're $75 closer to your goal.
and I understand, like your first reaction, Ferg, like you kind of cringe. I understand most people having that because it's like, it's a concept I know me personally I never really thought about. It's like, hey man, I'm hurting real bad. You got $100 I can get, and usually I give away what I can afford to lose. Like even if I'm letting you quote borrow it, I'm not gonna depend on that. Hopefully you do pay me back, but if not, I'm good with that. But it's just something I never thought about. Like, yeah, I got $100, man, but grass need to be cut. You think you can make your way out here?
And it can be humbling because if you never want to cut Buff's grass again, what is more important? Get that $100 because you're hurt? Because your friend still found a way to get you $100. You needed it. You got it. Are you willing to work for it? You willing to work, make $15 an hour, do whatever else you do?
Right.
I've
worked for much less.
And that's my thing. It's like our mindset is we're our egos and won't let us see the actual beauty of the situation is like, and it might teach a lesson. Like, you know what? I'll never cut anybody's grass again. Like that was just so humbling and stuff like that. I'll never get plasma again. Like when you do stuff to get what you need,
It's slightly different, but I talked about when Michelle Torrance saw me in the McDonald's still working now. I was like, you know what? It's time for me to get the hell up out of here.
Yeah. Because now when you have people that can count on you as like you're part of their income. Because I've seen that where they're like, okay, I can do this, and I'm going to go on this vacation because I know I can get $200 from Razi next week and I'll pay, to pay this car note, and then I'll just pay him back next month when I get my stimulus check or whatever the hell you're gonna get. So there's people that really count on you as part of their income. Like they just know that Razi got it, Buff got it, That's a good one, Buff.
I ain't got it. I'm poor. I'm broke.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, fellas, let's go ahead and close it on out.
So good, so good, so good.
Get ready, because it's time to save at your Nordstrom Rack store. Now through February 23rd, take an extra 40% off red tag clearance boots, jackets, and sweaters. We're talking the best cold weather styles from Vince, Cole Haan, Sam Edelman, and more. All on sale for even less. All sales final. You never know what you'll find, but you know it's gonna be so good. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
Every cup of Nespresso coffee is an invitation to transform your morning routine into a ritual you can treasure each and every day. Using the Virtuo Pop, a simple touch of the button freshly brews bold aromas and a rich, velvety crema layer for delicious cafe-quality coffee at home. Whether you enjoy your coffee hot or over ice, every sip, every morning is unforgettable. Nothing tastes like Nespresso coffee. Visit Nespresso.com or our app to explore our full range of easy-to-use machines and coffees not found anywhere else.
I got a lot, so I'm gonna let Razi go just in case he touches on some stuff that I plan on and I can scratch it out.
Yeah, no, I don't have a whole lot, man. I just wanted to send prayers and condolences once again to a UAB and probably Alabama staple, DJ Jukebox. I don't know if you guys know him, but he did all the college parties throughout the state in the like late 90s, early 2000s. Like, he had a mixtape CD series that was like second to none. Everybody knew DJ Jukebox mixtapes, and he passed away over the last couple of days. I think actually Tuesday night, going into Wednesday. So that's a big loss for the UAB community, for the Alabama community. Anybody, like I said, if you had a college parties, he DJ'd all of them. Miles, everybody. He was on 95.7 on the radio station here a couple years. So used to do the 12 o'clock cut up all the time. So big loss for us, for the family. So prayers to his line brothers, to the chapter, to the state, for anybody who's been affected or touched by Jukebox, aka Swamp Thing. That's what the bros know him by. But just thoughts and prayers to everybody, man. And again, it was one that health reasons. So take care of yourself. That's like what we've been saying, which kind of made me think about, I got to take care of myself. I got to stop saying yes to everything, and kind of bring it back and not stress myself out. But it's a heavy loss right there for us. And we lost one of our charter members. So, the family of Homer Coke, that's another one. So just a lot of loss in my fraternity, in the chapter, Greg. So just all of that, man. It's been a rough kind of holidays coming into it with all of that. So just take care of yourself, everybody. Enjoy it. Hug those babies. Hug everybody around you, and love on them. So that's all I got, man.
That's kind of been the theme of this show. Shonda Rhimes once said, the power of no, knowing when and how to say no to certain things. I do have quite a bit, but I'm going to try to go through it quickly. First off, Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you have a great 2023. So Happy New Year to everybody. Congratulations to Florida State. My boys were number 13 in the coaches poll. They won their bowl game last night. So I don't know what their final ranking will be, but it's a 10-win season, a successful season for us. Like I said, I just want us to win 7 games this year. So they exceeded my expectations. You guys can start taking those Christmas trees down, by the way. Let's go ahead and let's get those trees down, people. Okay? I know Mobile, you like to keep them up for Mardi Gras and stuff like that. It's a Christmas tree. Let's take it down. Shout out to Inspire You. We will be attending the Sneaker Ball, and I know they are part of putting that on. So come kick it with your boys. 3 Brothers will be in the building for the Sneaker Ball February 17th, 2023. So come hang out with us and have a good time there. Last but not least, our good buddy Sherman Cooley. He was on one of our very, very, very early episodes. I've been pushing him to get his short stories and books out there. He started when he first got out of jail, and then something that he didn't realize when he was incarcerated, life happens. You can have all these plans. I remember he used to get on us about why we hadn't done this and why we hadn't done that, and he soon learned that when you working a 9 to 5 and dealing with a relationship or whatever it is, life happens, and some of the other stuff takes a backseat. So he's trying to get that going again. He texted me about some things that he has going with those short stories. So if you're listening to this podcast, Cooley, let's keep it going. You are too talented, bro, to not do the things that I know you can do. So get them out there and we'll do our best to promote them. That's all I got, man.
It's funny you say that. I literally was talking to somebody, I want to say either yesterday or Wednesday, about Sherman's books. So get back on it, Cooley. Do what you do.
We need to have it published and hard covers by all class, so you can set up a table and be a vendor.
Oh damn! You gonna put a timeline on? Okay, even better.
All righty. Well, like Buff said, Happy New Year. I hope this finds everybody entering a new year with positivity, rolling over some of the positivity from 2022 and leaving the negativity from 2022 in the past. You know, it's just a new day. So I know some people don't get too excited, but look at it as as a chance to change and get better. To all the people we lost in 2022, you're gone but never forgotten. 2022 was a rough year for everybody I know, so let's just hope 2023 is better and that we survive it and we find happiness and love and all the things we're looking for. Once again, Three Brothers No Sense, your favorite barbershop podcast. 6 rules of podcast: listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again. Talk to you next year.